What up YouTube, Sleeve from TeamPurplePanda, and this week in the Yu-Gi-Oh! Card theories, we are going to talk about Gravekeepers. Not just about Gravekeepers, but more specifically how to shut on Gravekeepers. To be honest guys, I don't like the deck. I don't like the deck at all. I have the deck, and I was playing around with it for about almost a week. The 3 dualities, the warning bill and everything. I don't like it. I win games. I win games a lot, and the deck is just devastating. But I just don't like it. It's so freaking boring. It's autopilot. That's exactly what it is. The deck runs itself more so than Light Swarm, more so than Machina. The deck you just do one thing and you just keep doing that one thing to win, and that's it. It's not bad. It's not bad. It's a good deck, but again, it's just not my cup of tea. By far, not my cup of tea. And another thing that really just annoys me is that it won, and what that means is that everyone and their grandmothers is going to be playing it, and everyone and their grandmothers are playing it. There are 3 GKs in my locals. There are 3 more in my other locals. There's this other locals located near Sacramento that have 5 GK players one time, and it's just obscene. I mean, net deckers left and right. It's just ridiculous. So I'm actually going to make a segment on how to beat GK, how to crap down GK, and basically that all has to come down to proper sighting. Against GK, you need to know what you're doing, because in the autopilot deck, you can predict what your opponent's going to do a few turns ahead. And with that said, a proper setting will usually just win you games, and it's pretty easy to beat them in game 2 and game 3, at least I think so. So let's go right into it. I'll break down the side in 3 tiers. Tier 3 being cards that will hinder GK, but it's not dependable at all. Tier 2 are cards that will hurt the deck, hurt GKs, but it's not so much that it will cripple them. So if tier 2, you want to put in 1 or 2 of the cards. And also go to tier 1. And what tier 1 means is cards that have a serious advantage against GKs, but they are quite predictable, and that's that. And I'll also give you a tier 01. Tier 0 is a card that GK players don't see coming, and it really just completely just craps on the deck and hurts its feelings. So let's just go right into it. So tier 3, Consecrated Lights. People throw these into the side deck right now against Black Wings, and it's a really good side deck card against Black Wings. Unfortunately, it's not so good. Not so good against GK. Here's the reason why. Gravekeepers run 3 Book of Moons, and because they run 3 Book of Moons, they can easily book the Consecrated Light and blow it up and get around it. It does hinder, the Gravekeeper deck, because all the monsters are dark, but it's not really that practical. I mean, they can get around it in a pretty short amount of time. And not to mention, if you have Consecrated out, they just set some Recruiter and just kind of load up their hand, and etc, etc. And not to mention, Consecrated Light is a monster, so if they were to go Royal Tribute, you will lose the Consecrated Light, and at that point on, you're just kind of screwed. So again, this is tier 3. It will hinder the deck, but it will not stop the deck. So I don't suggest the good side. So tier 2. Tier 2 are cards that will hurt the deck, but will not cripple the deck. And they are these. Back row destructions. Mainly to destroy Neko Valley. Neko Valley is an important part of the deck, but it's not the core part of the deck. What that means is that if you target and hit Neko Valley, yes, it will hinder the deck and it will hurt the deck quite a bit, but not to the point where it can't come back. There are so many ways for GKs to search for another Neko Valley that just relying on your 1 MST or 2 MST or 1 Twister or 1 Fairy Wind is not going to win you that much advantage. It's going to be good, but it's not going to be very, very good. I personally like throwing another MST and maybe a fairy wind just in there just to stop that Neko Valley in the nick of moment. So if they have that 2k beat stick and they attack into my alias or whatever, I flip the fairy wind, destroy Neko Valley, and then they'll just like crash. So that's really good. But again, the most I'll go is 2 for back row destruction, or like anything that hurts Neko Valley. I actually mainly sometimes just like throw in just 1 MST, and that will be more than enough. I have 1 in my side and 1 in my main, just main 2 MST, and that's usually more than enough for back row destruction and just hit that Neko Valley. So again, 1 or 2 is good. Moving on. So tier 1. Tier 1 cards are great against the deck, and you hurt the deck immensely, but they're predictable for the most part. The more predictable ones are these right here. Cross outs. People know you'll side ace in against a spy, so what that means is that they'll try to bluff you. They'll set assailant, they'll set descendant, hope you cross them out, so you have to watch out for that. If not, if you manage to hit a spy, it's major destruction to the deck. And if you hit a recruiter, that's even good, because again, it's also pretty good destruction to the deck, but it's nothing like hitting a spy. I love this card, and I always have 3 copies in my side deck because I just don't like walls. So this will hit those spies and everything, so it's wonderful. But the problem is, again, these are predictable, so you have to watch out when using these. So yeah, definitely. Second thing, not this one yet, this one. Breakers. 2 breakers. I love breakers just because it's not as predictable as cross out, but they are such a huge advantage against GraveKeepers. If you summon a breaker, you get a counter, and you choose a counter destroy Neko Valley, and if they have an assailant or descendant on the field, they become 15 now. So then you just run it over to 16 breaker. So this card is potentially a -2 against GK decks. So it's really, really good. I normally take my 2 Doom Cows and replace them with 2 Blade Breakers, and they work just wonderfully against GKs. I can't stress how amazing this card is. There's 2 sitting in my side deck right now, and it's been serving me really well, so you should highly consider having this card in there. And another one that is actually pretty good is Banishers and DeFi. The reason why is because GK have very low monster counts. They're very, very low monster counts. So if you manage to remove a good proportion of their monsters, their steel will be useless, and they will not have a monster to recycle the steel and whatnot. So not to mention, these 2 cards also shuts down recruiters, so they can't recruiters search. So it's really good. I personally prefer DeFi over Banisher because it's not a monster. So even though they go roll tribute, I won't lose this. I can still keep the DeFi in my hand. So it's really good. So definitely consider throwing this in against GKs. And here, finally, I'm pretty sure I've flashed these cards more than once already, but these are the tier 0 sides right here. Well, what tier 0 side is basically a side deck card that really just cripples and hurts the deck so much that it not only hurts their deck, the GK deck, but it gives you mass advantage simultaneously. And here it is. The problem with these 2 side deck cards is very deck specific, and mainly they're for Machina. So if you play Machina, this is the time to listen. Gear Town and Ancient Gear Golem, or Ancient Gear Dragon, whichever you want. I prefer Ancient Gear Golem because I have 3 copies of it, but whatever. So you want to throw in 3 copies of Gear Town into your Machina deck, and throw in 2 Ancient Gear Golem into your side deck too. So basically you have 3 of these and 2 of these, and here's what you do. Gear Town is such crazy good against GKs. Here's the reason why. When you play a Gear Town, because it's a field spell, you automatically replace their Neko Valley. So Neko Valley is gone. Yay, cool. If they were to replace the Neko Valley, they will have to destroy the Gear Town, which will let you summon a 3k wall, 3k beat stick onto your field. And if you have something to stop their descendants from nuking this thing, there's very little things they can do to stop an Ancient Geared Golem. So that's that. So just Gear Town by itself, it's really good. It not only it destroys Neko Valley by replacing it. Is with this is replaced, then you get an auto beat stick. So it's just mass advantage for you. Another thing is that if you draw an ancient gear golem, you can always pitch this to special summon a fortress from your graveyard, and the Neko Valley does not stop an effect by itself. So basically, you can just pitch this, get a fortress, play this, and if you play Neko Valley, this gets destroyed. Special summon this. Another cool thing about ancient gear cards is that when this card attacks, they cannot activate any. I believe they cannot activate any spell or trap. Yeah, they cannot activate any spell or trap card until end of damage step. So what that means is that when you attack with this, they can't book you and they cannot defy you. Not defy. They cannot deprison you. So it's just really good and it just wrecks GKs. And along with fortress and all that stuff to back you up, and your own stun cards, GKs do not stand a chance. I actually played my friend's Machina Gadgets against GraveKeepers, and the guy wanted to play with side, so I sided in. Again, 3 Gear Town, 2 Ancient Gear Golems, and I 5-0'd the guy. He have no outs to my Ancient Gear Golems. So that's that. I really hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I hope you guys beat those annoying autopilot GK decks out there. Yeah, so thanks for watching, guys.